Hello, amazing English learners. Welcome to English Flow. This is your special place to learn English. Every video helps you speak English so well. You learn easy words, fun phrases, and great tips to talk with big confidence. Are you new? That's perfect. Our lessons are simple and just for you. Come join our happy learning family. Click subscribe and the bell. Ready? Let's start today's lesson. Speak English with us. Please like, comment, and share. See you in the lesson. Hello. Have you ever felt like there's a whole world waiting for you, but there's an invisible wall stopping you? Have you watched an English movie without subtitles? Did you wish you could understand every word? Maybe you've dreamed of traveling to new countries, meeting new people, sharing your stories with confidence. If you're nodding your head right now, I have a question for you. Leave a comment below and tell me this. What's your biggest dream? How could learning English help you achieve it? I'm asking because today I want to share something very personal with you. I want to tell you how learning English completely changed my life, and more importantly, how it can change yours too. But first, I need to hear from you. What brought you here today? What made you click on this video? Share your story in the comments because your journey matters, and I read every single comment. You know, 5 years ago, I was sitting exactly where you might be sitting right now. I was staring at my computer screen, feeling frustrated and lost. I had been trying to learn English for months, maybe even years, and I felt like I was getting nowhere. I would study grammar rules for hours, memorize long lists of vocabulary, and still feel completely lost when someone spoke to me in English. Does this sound familiar? I remember one particular day when everything changed. I was at a coffee shop and I overheard 2 tourists asking for directions. They looked confused and lost, and I knew exactly how to help them. I knew the directions perfectly in my own language, but when I tried to speak to them in English, the words just wouldn't come out. I stood there, opening and closing my mouth like a fish, feeling embarrassed and helpless. That moment broke my heart, but it also lit a fire inside me. That night, I made a promise to myself. I decided that I would not let fear and frustration win. I would find a way to learn English that actually worked, not just for passing tests, but for real life. And that's exactly what I did. Today, I want to share with you the exact methods that transformed my English from embarrassing to empowering. The truth is, most people are learning English the wrong way. They focus on perfect grammar, they memorize word lists, and they spend hours studying theory. But here's what I discovered. English is not a subject to study. It's a skill to develop. It's like learning to swim or ride a bicycle. You can read about swimming all you want, but you'll never learn to swim until you jump in the water. So let me ask you something. When you think about learning English, what comes to mind? Do you picture yourself sitting at a desk with textbooks? Do you imagine boring grammar exercises? Or do you see yourself having amazing conversations, watching your favorite shows without subtitles, and confidently expressing your thoughts and dreams? I hope it's the second option, because that's exactly where we're heading today. Let me start by telling you about Maria. Maria is a student from Brazil who joined one of my online classes last year. When she first started, she could barely say hello without feeling nervous. She would write to me saying, "Teacher, I understand everything when I read, but when I try to speak, my mind goes blank. I feel so stupid." But Maria had something special. She had a dream. She wanted to study abroad and become a doctor. That dream was stronger than her fear. We worked together using the methods I'm going to share with you today. Instead of starting with complicated grammar rules, we started with her daily life. We talked about her morning routine, her family, her dreams. Every day, she would record herself speaking for just 5 minutes about her day. She would make mistakes, laugh at herself, and try again. 6 months later, Maria sent me a video message. She was speaking fluent English, telling me about her acceptance letter to a medical school in Canada. She was crying happy tears, and honestly, I was crying too. She said, "Teacher, you were right. English wasn't about being perfect. It was about being brave enough to be imperfect." That's the first secret I want to share with you today. Perfection is the enemy of progress. Every time you wait until you feel ready to speak, you're actually moving backward. Every time you stop yourself because you're afraid of making mistakes, you're choosing fear over growth. I want you to understand something very important. Native English speakers make mistakes too. They use wrong grammar sometimes. They forget words. They say and all the time. But they keep talking, and that's why they're good at English. Not because they're perfect, but because they're persistent. Think about babies learning to walk. Do they wait until they can walk perfectly before taking their first step? Of course not. They fall down hundreds of times, but they keep trying. And one day, they're running around like they've been walking their whole lives. That's exactly how language learning works. Now, let me share with you the method that changed everything for me. I call it the English immersion bubble, and you can create it no matter where you live in the world. You don't need to move to an English-speaking country. You don't need expensive classes. You just need to be smart about how you use the time you already have. Here's how it works. From the moment you wake up until the moment you go to sleep, you're going to surround yourself with English. But not in a stressful way, in a fun, natural way that feels like living, not studying. Your morning starts with English. Instead of checking social media in your native language, you check English content. Maybe it's a short inspirational video. Maybe it's an English song that makes you feel good. Or maybe it's a simple English podcast about topics you love. The key is to choose content that makes you happy, not content that feels like homework. While you're getting ready for your day, you talk to yourself in English. Yes, you heard that right. Talk to yourself. Describe what you're doing. I'm brushing my teeth. The toothpaste tastes minty. I'm looking in the mirror and practicing my smile. This might feel strange at first, but it's one of the most powerful techniques for building fluency. During your commute or while doing chores, you listen to English content. But here's the secret. Don't try to understand every single word. Just let the sounds of English wash over you. Your brain is incredibly smart, and it will start picking up patterns even when you're not actively trying to learn. Let me tell you about Ahmed from Egypt. Ahmed is a taxi driver who dreamed of becoming a tour guide for English-speaking tourists. He couldn't afford English classes, but he had hours every day sitting in his taxi waiting for passengers. So he started listening to English podcasts about Egyptian history and culture, topics he already knew well in Arabic. At first, he understood maybe 20% of what he heard, but he kept listening every single day. After 3 months, he understood 50%. After 6 months, he understood 80%. And after 1 year, he wasn't just understanding. He was thinking in English about Egyptian history. Today, Ahmed is the most popular English-speaking tour guide in his city, and tourists from all over the world request him specifically. Ahmed's secret wasn't that he was naturally talented at languages. His secret was that he made English a part of his existing life, instead of treating it as something separate and special. That's what I want you to do too. But listening is only half the battle. You also need to speak, and this is where most people get stuck. They think they need someone to practice with, or they're too embarrassed to speak because they're not perfect yet. Let me solve this problem for you right now. You're going to become your own conversation partner. Every day, you're going to have conversations with yourself in English. Pick a topic you love. Maybe it's your hobby, your family, your dreams, or even your favorite TV show. Set a timer for 5 minutes and just talk. Don't worry about grammar. Don't worry about pronunciation. Just express your thoughts. Record yourself if you can. Not to judge yourself, but to track your progress. Listen to your recording from 1 month ago, and you'll be amazed at how much you've improved. This isn't just about language learning. It's about building confidence and self-awareness. Here's another technique that works like magic: the English diary. Every night before bed, write 3 sentences in English about your day. They can be simple sentences like, "Today I ate pizza for lunch. It was delicious. I want to try making pizza at home." The goal isn't to write perfect English. It's to think in English about your real life. As you get more comfortable, you can write longer entries. Write about your dreams, your fears, your hopes. Write about movies you watched, books you read, conversations you had. The more personal your writing is, the more meaningful it becomes, and the faster you'll learn. But here's something most teachers won't tell you. You need to fall in love with English. Not just with the idea of speaking English, but with the language itself. You need to find English content that makes you laugh, makes you cry, makes you think, makes you dream. For me, it was stand-up comedy. I discovered that watching English comedians helped me understand not just the language, but the culture, the way people think, the way they connect with each other. Comedy taught me about timing, about emphasis, about the difference between what words mean and what they really mean. For some of my students, it's cooking shows. They learn English while learning to cook new dishes. For others, it's travel vlogs, fitness videos, music, or even video game tutorials. The topic doesn't matter. What matters is that you choose something that genuinely interests you. Let me share another success story. Yuki from Japan was obsessed with makeup and beauty. She wanted to be a makeup artist, but all the best tutorials and courses were in English. Instead of seeing this as a problem, she saw it as an opportunity. She started watching English makeup tutorials every day, learning both makeup techniques and English at the same time. She would pause the videos, repeat the instructions out loud, and practice the techniques while practicing the language. She learned words like blend, contour, and highlight, not from a textbook, but from doing what she loved. Within a year, she was not only fluent in English, but also skilled enough to start her own English language makeup channel on YouTube. That's the power of learning English through your passions. When you're genuinely interested in the content, learning doesn't feel like work. It feels like play, like discovery, like growth. Now, let's talk about something that stops many people from progressing: the comparison trap. You see other people speaking English fluently, and you think, I'll never be as good as them. Or you watch English teachers on YouTube and think, they're so perfect, I could never speak like that. Here's the truth. Everyone's English journey is different. Some people learn faster, some slower. Some people are naturally good at pronunciation, others struggle with it. Some people have lots of time to study, others have just a few minutes a day. None of that matters. What matters is that you're moving forward, even if it's just one small step at a time. I want to share something personal with you. Even after years of speaking English, I still make mistakes. I still have days when I can't find the right word. I still sometimes feel nervous when speaking to native speakers about topics I'm not familiar with. But you know what? That's perfectly normal, and it doesn't stop me from communicating effectively. The goal isn't to speak perfect English. The goal is to speak confident English. And confidence comes from practice, not perfection. Every conversation you have, every mistake you make, every word you learn is building your confidence brick by brick. Here's a technique that will boost your confidence immediately: the celebration habit. Every time you use English successfully, whether it's understanding a sentence in a movie, having a short conversation, or even just thinking a thought in English, celebrate it. Say yes. In your mind, give yourself a mental high five or actually smile. Your brain needs to associate English with positive emotions, not stress and fear. I had a student named Carlos from Mexico who was terrified of speaking English on the phone. His job required him to make occasional English phone calls, and he would literally shake with nervousness before each call. We started with baby steps. First, he practiced ordering food in English at restaurants. Then he practiced asking for directions. Then he practiced making appointments. Each small success built his confidence for the next challenge. 6 months later, he wasn't just making work phone calls in English. He was leading international conference calls and representing his company at English-speaking events. The transformation wasn't just in his English skills, but in his entire confidence and career trajectory. That's what I want for you too. I want English to open doors you didn't even know existed. I want it to connect you with people from all over the world. I want it to give you access to information, entertainment, and opportunities that will enrich your life in ways you can't even imagine yet. But here's something crucial. You need to be patient with yourself. Learning English is not a sprint. It's a marathon. Some days you'll feel like you're making huge progress. Other days you'll feel like you're going backward. Both feelings are normal and temporary. The key is consistency, not intensity. It's better to study English for 15 minutes every day than for 3 hours once a week. Your brain needs regular exposure to the language to build those neural pathways that make English feel natural and automatic. Think of it like watering a plant. If you water it a little bit every day, it grows strong and healthy. If you forget about it for a week and then dump a huge amount of water on it, it might survive, but it won't thrive. Your English is like that plant. It needs consistent, gentle care to flourish. Let me give you a practical challenge that will accelerate your progress. For the next 30 days, I want you to do what I call the English Day Challenge. One day each week, try to spend as much time as possible in English. Watch English videos, listen to English music, think in English, and if possible, speak English with others or with yourself. Don't aim for perfection. Aim for immersion. Let yourself make mistakes. Let yourself feel confused sometimes. Let yourself laugh at your own errors. By the end of 30 days, you'll notice a significant improvement in your comfort level with English. Here's another secret that most people don't know. English learning happens in your sleep too. Your brain processes and consolidates everything you learn during the day while you sleep. That's why it's so powerful to review English content right before bed. Watch a short English video, read a few pages in English, or listen to a calm English podcast as you're falling asleep. I want to address something that might be holding you back: the fear of judgment. You might be worried about what people will think when they hear your accent or when you make grammar mistakes. Let me tell you something that changed my perspective completely. Most English speakers are impressed when they meet someone who is learning English as a second language. They respect the effort and courage it takes. They understand that English is a difficult language with many exceptions and irregularities. And most importantly, they care much more about what you're saying than how you're saying it. I remember meeting a businessman from South Korea at a conference. His English grammar wasn't perfect, and he had a strong accent. But he gave one of the most inspiring presentations I've ever heard. He talked about his journey from poverty to success, and by the end, the entire audience was on their feet applauding. Nobody was thinking about his grammar mistakes. They were thinking about his message, his passion, his story. That's what I want you to remember. People will remember how you made them feel, not whether you use the past perfect tense correctly. They'll remember your kindness, your humor, your insights, your dreams. Your English is just the vehicle for sharing who you really are. Let me share one more story that illustrates this beautifully. Fatima from Morocco moved to Canada for work. She was extremely nervous about her English, especially her accent. She thought people wouldn't understand her or would judge her. But on her first day at work, a colleague said to her, "I love your accent. It's so musical and beautiful. Where are you from?" That simple comment changed Fatima's entire relationship with her English. She realized that her accent wasn't a flaw to hide. It was part of her identity, part of her story. She started speaking with more confidence, and as her confidence grew, her English improved rapidly. Today, she's a manager at her company and regularly gives presentations to hundreds of people. Your accent, your unique way of expressing yourself in English, is not a bug. It's a feature. It makes you interesting, memorable, and authentic. Don't try to hide it or eliminate it. Embrace it as part of your English journey. Now, let's talk about something practical. How to stay motivated when progress feels slow. Learning English is full of ups and downs. Some weeks you'll feel like you're flying, understanding everything and expressing yourself clearly. Other weeks you'll feel stuck, confused, and frustrated. This is completely normal. Language learning doesn't happen in a straight line. It happens in waves, with periods of rapid progress followed by plateaus where you're consolidating what you've learned. During these plateau periods, it might feel like you're not improving, but actually, your brain is working hard to make all your new knowledge automatic and natural. Here's how to stay motivated during the difficult times. First, keep a learning journal. Write down new words you learn, interesting phrases you discover, and small victories you achieve. When you're feeling discouraged, read through your journal and see how far you've come. Second, connect with other English learners. Join online communities, find conversation partners, or start a local English practice group. Surrounding yourself with people who understand your challenges and celebrate your successes makes the journey much more enjoyable. Third, set small, achievable goals. Instead of saying, "I want to be fluent in English," say, "I want to have a 5-minute conversation in English this week," or "I want to understand one English song completely." These smaller goals are easier to achieve and give you regular doses of motivation. Finally, remember your why. Why did you start learning English? What dreams will it help you achieve? What doors will it open? When the going gets tough, reconnect with your deeper motivation. Write it down, visualize it, talk about it. Your why is your fuel for the journey. As we near the end of our time together today, I want to leave you with the most important message of all. You have everything you need to succeed. You don't need perfect conditions, expensive courses, or years of study. You need consistency, patience, and courage. You need to start where you are with what you have right now. English is not just a language. It's a bridge to a bigger world, a key to new opportunities, a tool for sharing your unique voice with millions of people around the globe. Every word you learn, every conversation you have, every mistake you make is bringing you closer to the person you want to become. I started this video by asking about your dreams, and I want to end by asking you to make a commitment. In the comments below, tell me one thing you're going to do differently in your English learning journey starting today. Maybe you'll start talking to yourself in English. Maybe you'll find an English podcast about your favorite hobby. Maybe you'll join an online English community. Whatever it is, write it down and make it real. Remember, the best time to plant a tree was 20 years ago. The second best time is now. Your English journey starts with a single step, a single word, a single moment of courage. Take that step today, and I promise you, your future self will thank you. Thank you for spending this time with me today. Thank you for being brave enough to learn, to grow, to dream bigger. I believe in you, and I'm cheering for you every step of the way. Until next time, keep practicing, keep believing, and keep shining your light in the world. Your English adventure starts now. Are you ready? Thanks for watching. Remember, learning English takes time, but you can do it. Just listen every day, speak with confidence, and have fun while learning. Don't be afraid to make mistakes. That's how we grow. Keep practicing, stay positive, and never give up. See you in the next video. And don't forget to like, subscribe, and keep learning English with us.